Hi folks, Christos Anesti to my Greek friends. Happy Easter to you all too. Where today was such a beautiful day, I had to come out again to the church that is always open. My name is Maura Lynch and I'm here out in Earth Spiritual Center today. This is one of my favorite spots to be. Today's topic is about balance. I came here because during all of this time, and we can tell the time it is by our hair, right? COVID haircut. But anyway, I'm here because this is one of the places exactly where I have sought to find balance. I have found that the greatest balance I could find is in nature, and in playing some of my naturally cut instruments. This was a gift from my niece Jordy, thank you. And it's fun just to have music come from your soul and soothe you. That's where balance comes from. It comes from inside us. I think one of the greatest opportunities that we have during this time is to find that balance that is inside us. A lot of things in the last 5 years became unbalanced. And out of unbalance was created imbalance. I hope you can see those words. But oftentimes, this says unbalanced here, imbalanced there, if you can't see it with the light. But oftentimes, the greatest balance that comes to us can be something shifted, maybe even something small, but with great perception. When we take it with great perception and choose, then imbalanced would become this. I'm balanced. I'm balanced. When we look outside ourselves for our core balance, that can be dicey because sometimes things outside are uncertain and sometimes things outside us don't represent our inner core, and it might be a great distraction from our inner core. Why I went from my page today, and I think I will be from this point forward, I'm Maura Lynch and I'm a teacher. I'm a music teacher. I own a music school, and I've had the privilege of Zooming with my kids for nearly a month now. I have to tell you something. This was a really challenging week for the kids because after 21 days, a habit is created. Now, as adults, we understand that habits can be shifted, changed, they can guide us, they can teach us, they can drop us to the bottom and rise us right back up to the top. We have that knowledge, we have that guidance, we have that wisdom, we have that age, we have that discipline and experience. What I saw this week was some of the kids don't. After 21 days, the life that they have known has really, really altered. Seniors don't have proms or graduation. Many of my kids had leads. They have no plays to sing in. For them, their world has changed in a way that they found unfathomable. Even the closing of church, to them, was unfathomable. So what I started to teach this week, along with Sofa Mi Re Do, which I will always incorporate music, it is God's language after all, and it is the language we can all speak. But this is what I'll be needing to teach now. And I've taught this to my kids this week, that inside themselves, inside this small apostrophe, are choices of things that bring balance. And that's different for each one of us. Why I've come out here to the church that's always open, the church that's always ours, is I need to be free of labels now. Labels have not really helped us. They have separated us. Nature is all of our world. It's all of our planet. It also is the place that knows no duality. I'm going to step aside for a second. I'm going to play some of my flute music, and I hope that you can hear this beautiful stream behind me. Singing her song. Singing the song that reminds us that water is sustaining and eternal and never the same, not one drop. And yet we take great comfort in its consistency. Well, that's just incredible. To me, that is balance. So what I'd love to talk about today is, what's your apostrophe? And it's going to be really different for everybody. That is so cool. That is the coolest news, because my balance is music and nature and goats, right? And my kitties. That's my balance. For you, your balance might be sports and cooking or sewing or any number one of the gorgeous, gorgeous arts that flow through us, that allow us to be the most amazing parts of ourselves, and most importantly, to share. In this time of social distancing, what if each one of us went in and said, what's my apostrophe? What do I have to bring back out into this world that says balance? And we don't have to put it on anyone. We just have to find it for ourselves. And when we feel our own balance, then we can go back out into the world and we can share those talents that are ours to share. For me, it ended up being this as a teacher. Why I say I don't want labels. Most of you who are watching my personal page are friends of mine from spiritual worlds, from the Catholic schools where I taught, the churches where I've sung, friends from Moko Music, friends from Torchlight Music, people who have been with me. Thank you so much on me trying to find my soul's purpose as a teacher. But what came out today and this week was this. And this is what I will be teaching. I'm going to be teaching my kids, my students, how to find their core balance. Because without it, they're having a really hard time. And I hope that all of you who watch this at any point, if inside your world, if you would reach to those youngsters and teach them about all that you know, you would not be watching my program if you weren't about this, about the apostrophe of what is core, what is balance, what is the love of Holy Spirit. I say Holy Spirit here, and yet it's soul's purpose, it's spirit, it's joy, it's any word that gathers a person into their own heart, into their own talents, and into their own experience. This is so important to train the kids that inside them is a power so great, given to them by whomever you say is your creator, whoever made nature for you. But let them know that they have that power. Inside them is the power to choose, the power to be mindful, the power to decide love, the power to know that when they feel angry, it's not bad. It's just an opportunity to heal, communicate, or release. But without them knowing their own power, the fear that they are left with is not fair to them. And I know that we are doing everything we can to save lives, and that's beautiful. But there's more in this life than this disease. It's the dis-ease as well that came easily 5 years ago when social discourse sort of eroded. And I really don't care which side of the walk you're on politically. Both sides lost civility. And I think as a race, this has happened to us to bind us as one race, united by love and healed with forgiveness. So during this time, I hope we find our I am gifts, and I hope we activate them, and I hope we don't feel afraid to do them. I get scared every time I do one of these videos. You know, who doesn't wonder how it will be perceived? And yet, when I feel called, I know that I want to share, and I only hope that it helps, because I too am in the middle of trying to find what's mine to do. Right now, it's to be at Zoom with my students at Torchlight Music School, at the Tiny Theater. letting them know that I consistently am still there. I go to an empty building, I drive on a pretty empty highway, and I stand by myself in a building that used to be hugely vibrant. But I want those kids to see my studio because I want them to know that I am still there. So they will have something to come back to that's consistent. I'm going to read a little story. This is April 19th. This is the story of the day. This is from the Awakening book that I read from. And sometimes it explains how we get lost, why we get lost. This is called The Bud in Half Bloom Outweights the Cloud. Some days I wake with a cloud around my heart, and it dulls everything except the weight I carry deep inside. Yet just because I can't make it to the light today doesn't mean that the light has vanished. In truth, the heart, like the earth, is continually blanketed by ever-changing atmospheres that come and go between who we are and how we live our days. So faith, it seems, can be defined as the effort to believe in light when we're covered by clouds. And though it feels like the sun will not come again, the truth is, it has never stopped burning its light. In fact, its heat and warmth burn steadily, right now, through the greatest darkness, through the greatest uncertainty. On the far side of whatever cloud we are under, the light never stops its burn. If we could only suspend our judgments when clouded in the heart, for many skepticisms are born from conclusions drawn while we're unable to see, as if any kind of understanding will prevent the clouds from going or coming or going again and again. But I tell you, no cloud lasts forever. The earth and all that grows from it knows this well. So does the heart and everything that grows from it. In spite of all our pains, in spite of all our grievances that we feel are unforgivable, I tell you, behind them, there lives the light of a miracle, inside forgiveness. And I am open for any call or any message to forward that light. I am. So today, sit outside when you can. Watch the clouds come and go. Breathe slowly, breathe evenly, and feel the sky open and close above you. Note how the trees and flowers do not collapse when clouds roll in, and draw such strength from this. I'd like you to take a few breaths. Go into that own still place that can comfort you no matter what. That place that is there no matter what. And listen to the beauty of the water, ever consistent, ever for us, here before us, here after us, forever and ever changing, and ever renewing. Let's take that into a moment. I hope the sound of the water helps heal, helps restore, helps ease the anxiety when it comes. Because come it will. and it's okay. And may it soothe us, and may we reach out and soothe each other. And most importantly, may we reach in to find our special gift that takes us from imbalanced to I am balanced. And I go inside to the deepest part of my heart and I ask that question, what will balance me? And then I listen quietly in that stillness for the answer. And then we have the courage to communicate, to heal, or to release. I'd like to close with a poem, and this is again from my Forest of Song poetry, folks. We have another volume coming out shortly, and it's been a real joy to have them in my life these past 3 years. They've been an amazing anchor of artists online. Not a lot of us have met in person, so it's been a joyous thing to be with them. So this is what happened. On this day, we stood upright, our only job to bring the light. The world we once created here is birthing anew from love or fear. The split of illusion and what is real, for some odd reason, is easier to feel. I look to my hawks. They aren't down. For them, this silence is more like home. And when I pet my kitty, she doesn't know. She's here on my leg where only love flows. I look to my friends, holding the light, knowing that now is our true birthright. Called to be Holy Spirit soul, riding the light, there is no dark world. Sequestered away in my tiny place. They see the light from that tiny space. They still see songs in sorrow's face. I can only live inside this day, and like the book of wisdom, the old fades away. We're left with a choice, the eternal way, or we'll fall in fear and be swept away. Yet the spring has come in full, and the birds sing still upon my hill. And I hold the light, I make the darkness still. Inside that light, fear has no will. And then I pray that I stay in love's grace, with joy in my heart when sorrows race. Guide me, Spirit, every day. Where do I go? What will I say? Be through me the kinder way. This in each hour, I pray and pray. I'm going to close today with a song that I did not long ago at the Spiritual Center, but I think it really fits. It's called How Can I Keep From Singing? My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the real though far off hymn that hails the new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm. To that rock I am clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds and echoes in my soul. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake that inmost calm. Even to that rock I am clinging. But love is Lord of heaven and earth. So how can I keep from singing? Thanks for being with me, folks. Thank you so much for your support of my new venture. Please say prayers for my kids, and that we all find our way to our deep core. Back to light, back to love, back to forgiveness, and back to not an old way, but a new way, a better way, a way that takes it all with us and leaves leaves the rest that didn't work anymore behind and restore between us what one of my dear favorite mentors, John Adams, ever said was, restore us to the graceful humor of our lineage as being human together in spirit. Bye, folks. Have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me. Take care.